Hello, welcome to the channel. Today we are solving the Hanayama Nutcase puzzle. Now I'm fascinated by this one. This genuinely looks impossible, and that is backed by the fact that Hanayama have rated this puzzle a level 6 out of their 6 in rating system. It's going to be a tough one. Let's see if we can get it apart. So here it is, the Nutcase puzzle. And on first inspection, this is actually much bigger than I expected it to be. Unlike the other puzzles, the Hanayama ones that we've done, which always end up looking smaller or are smaller than I expect, this one's actually bigger. This one's very, very sturdy. And when you first look at it, it looks impossible. It looks like this bit in the middle is one whole bit, and somehow you're meant to get these bits off, which genuinely looks impossible. However, on closer inspection, these bits on the outside look like they are split in half. And that is confirmed when you then look at the box, and you can see that obviously this screw then splits into 2 bits. What you also see is that there's a little screw inside, which when we shake it, we can hear something rattling inside. And when you look down this hole here, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it from there, there is a little nut in there. So the aim is obviously to separate these two. I don't know what these are called. These are the nuts, and I guess these are the bolts. I think that my DIY skills are lacking very much when it comes to knowing the names of things. So we've got to get these nuts off. There's a nut inside, and then the bolt then splits in 2. So where do we start? Now, if we're looking around the bolt, we've got one big divide in the middle there, one big bit there. Those bits aren't opposite each other. There's another bit there which is opposite this bit here, and that's it. So that's interesting. So we've got it split down the middle, down this way, down there, but it's also split there as well. Now these, I'm guessing, screw all the way to the top and all the way to the bottom. Not get any extra movement apart from the rattle in the middle there. So let's have a play around with it. We've got a slight bit of movement up and down. So what I'm thinking is it possible to get the, again, my knowledge is lacking, I don't know what these are called. I'm going to call them grooves. These grooves in here, is it possible if we've got a bit of up and down to sort of shift one along one way? I'm guessing the bit in the middle, the nut that's in the middle that's shaking, that's loose, sorry, that I'm shaking. I'm guessing that has absolutely nothing to do with getting it apart. I'm guessing the actual puzzle is to get it apart and get to that nut. See, that movement there is much, much bigger now. That's moving like a whole thread apart from each other. So, I think I've figured out what we need to do. What we need to do is get, because certain bits pull apart, we need to get the threads, essentially, are these, the nuts lined up in a certain position. Then we can pull the whole thing apart a little bit more than we usually can. And then essentially these skip off of one and onto the other, and it opens up a little bit. And I think that's what we've half done. So what we've done at the minute is you can see that this one is essentially skipped over one, but this one we've got caught in the middle and it's completely stuck because it's sort of half on one of the grooves and half on the other one of the grooves. So I think I need to get it back to the position where it sort of closes a little bit, then get this in the same position that this one is, and then we can essentially just repeat that process until the whole thing comes apart. I think that is how it's done, but it's very, very fidgety and it's probably going to take us a long time. So here we go. Ooh, big movement then. Look at that. So now it's this one that's the loose one. So, wow. Woo! Feels good, we're getting close. Oh yes, I think we're close. We're very close. I'm not exactly sure how, but as soon as we get this off, should it then just come off? Ooh, well, we got that out. Oh, that must be it. That must be it. Keep them lined up. No. This bit off here on this side. So that should be free there. And this gotta be it. This has gotta be it. Yes. Ah, we've done it. We've done it. Now we'll get this off here. Ooh, that's. Ah, okay, so if you get it in. Right, that makes sense. There we go. So. They're the two half screws, bolts, they're the nuts, there's the nut in the middle. Done! Okay, so before we try and put it back together, first I'm going to try and understand how it came apart. So if we look in here, we can see that again I'm going to carry on calling them grooves, I've not looked up what they're actually called. So we've got grooves in there, blank here, and then grooves on the bottom here, and that lines up in there with this one. So what I think we did to get it off is get it in this position a certain number of times, and each time we got it, we sort of got it a little bit further off, and then we lost the perfect position. So obviously if I'm just trying to get this one in the perfect position on one, and that's a challenge in itself, then trying to line up both of them isn't just going to be twice as hard, it's going to be 10 times, 20 times as hard. So to put it back together, put the little nuts in there, line those up, and what you should see, yeah, the nut is in there, is that these two things, ooh, just slide together, and that's quite tight in itself. So then all we need to do is essentially, ooh, I need to bear in mind which position it is. So nut is on that corner there, the word nut, and case is just short of flat there. So nut, oh, this is going to be tougher than I thought. Well, that was harder than expected, putting it back together as well, but there we go. The Nutcase Hanayama puzzle solved. We did it! We managed to take apart the Nutcase puzzle. We managed to put it back together again here. And even though after taking it apart, I knew how it opened and why it opened, and therefore knew exactly how it went back together, still took a good 10 minutes. You have to be so precise. This nut has to be in the perfect place. This nut has to be in the perfect place for you to get any movement whatsoever. If you're fractions of millimeters not in perfect alignment, then it's just not going to come apart. The good thing about the toughness of this puzzle is that when you sort of do get it in the perfect position and you either make progress or fully get it apart, it's exciting. You are filled with happiness or glee or any other positive emotion. And that's what puzzle solving is about. It's about the rigor and grit that it takes to actually get it apart, and then the satisfaction of knowing, yeah, I did that, I put the hard work in and I got the reward. And the reward is purely the feeling of knowing that you solved it. You put the work in and it came apart, and it's all worthwhile in the end. So there we are. This is the third puzzle we've tried. This is the third puzzle we have solved. 100% record so far. Proud of that. If you want to see the other two, their videos are around here somewhere. And on to the next one. Peace.